Western Kentucky University in Bowling Green, Kentucky has an amazing amount of history. I find myself in awe about the place. Of course, I'm going to tell you the paranormal side, but we'll also give a quick intro to the history with one particular finding I will definitely have to do another video on. The institution was established in 1906 as Western Kentucky State Normal School. In 1911, the school moved to a location atop a hill overlooking downtown Bowling Green. It became a 4-year teacher college in 1922. Bowling Green, city seat of Warren County, south central Kentucky, lies along the Barren River 65 miles northeast of Nashville, Tennessee. It was settled in 1780 by Robert and George Moore. It was also designated the Confederate capital of Kentucky in 1861, and it was occupied by Confederate General Simon Buckner's troops until the Union takeover of the forts in 1962. The construction of railroads in the state in the mid-19th century led to the city's development as a river and rail transportation center. Bowling Green serves as an agricultural market for tobacco, corn, hay, and livestock. Automobiles and automobile products, generators, and clothing are also important to the economy. It is the home of Western Kentucky University and Bowling Green Regional Technical Center, and Mammoth Cave National Park is about 30 miles north of the metro area. But did you know that Western Kentucky University has a unique connection to the American Civil War? You will find out in the next video. But let's go on to the paranormal side. Western Kentucky University has no shortage of ghost stories passed down through the years. Many are sad tales of lives lost too soon or campus sighting of spirits. There are over 25 buildings experiencing paranormal activity. The Barnes-Campbell Hall spirit of the 5th floor was a resident that fell to his death down the elevator shaft in 1967. Many residents in Barnes Hall said they have seen the elevator come up to the 5th floor and open with nobody inside. This usually occurs late at night. And according to a Herald article printed on November the 9th, 1967, a 20-year-old junior named James came upon an elevator key and entered the elevator shaft on the opposite side of the stalled car to trip a switch that would trigger the stuck elevator to start moving again. He had done this before, but this time he forgot the most important step of all, looking up to see if any elevator cars were descending upon him. When he reached in to flip the switch, record states that Duvall was crushed to death by the moving elevator when he became pinned between the outer wall of the elevator shaft and steel beam. In February 1971, at the Florence Snider Hall, during spring break, an escaped lunatic climbed through a window in the dorm, then called Whitestone, and murdered a sleeping girl with an axe. Her name was Judy. Judy was bleeding profusely and was able to drag herself to the other end of the hall where the second counselor was staying. Too weak to stand, she scratched at the door, but the other girl was too scared to open it. It was the next morning before the scared girl opened the door, to find at the bottom of her door was Judy lying dead with an axe in her skull and with bloody fingers where she had been scratching the door all night. They say her spirit now wanders the hallways scratching on doors. At one of the Greek houses, the Pi Delta Theta house, rattling pipes could just be a plumbing problem, but some residents claim supernatural forces are behind the noise. Several rails on their stair banisters are missing, and sometimes they switch places. One missing from the bottom will be replaced and one from the middle will disappear. Some say that it is being haunted by Billy, a former resident that died in the house in the 1980s. And it is still known today as Billy's room. When no one's around, doors will open and close and the stereo will come on. The McLean house spirit has its name, Maddie McLean, former resident and administrator who passed away there. They say she doesn't mean any harm, just as the day gets long and if you're working late at night, she does a few bits of rattling or thumps on the wall to say, hey, it's time to leave, it's been a long day. At the Pierce Ford Tower, there was a male resident who never showered on his floor, opting to go several floors up or several floors down. As the legend goes, one day the towel-clad student emerged from the bathroom and walked to the elevators. He pushed the button, waited for the doors to open, stepped in, and plummeted 20 stories to his death. The elevator had malfunctioned. They say every year on the day of his death, his wet footprints will appear and make their ghostly trek to the elevators. Taken from an article at Highlands Heights, October 30th, 1997. Potter Hall was the home of Casparella, supposedly the spirit of a woman who hung herself in the late 70s in the basement. According to an article, a distraught female named Teresa was living in room 7 on the basement floor when she hung herself by a belt from the steam heating pipes that draped the ceilings in her dorm on April 21, 1979. They say her spirit likes to lock and unlock doors, make strange noises in the halls, and rattle desk drawers, taken from an article dated October 30, 1997. At the Rhodes Harland Hall, the haunting of this residence comes from a story about a young girl who committed suicide by jumping off this 9-story building. She returns every year on the anniversary of her death to spook the new residents of Rhodes Harland Hall. Article dated October 30, 2003. The former Sigma Alpha House on College Street was once a Civil War hospital. Fraternity brothers have proclaimed that one young soldier, who has called himself Kevin, died in the hospital and is trapped in this house. The most frequently seen spirit has been described as a tall, slender military man in a long overcoat and hat. They say Kevin likes to slam doors and turn the lights on and off. The last one I will cover in this video is Van Meter Hall. Dated in an article from College Heights Herald, October 30, 1997, they say that a construction worker fell through the skylift in the lobby and was killed. In this version, it is said that the blood of the worker reappears when the floor is washed. Since that incident, the skylights were removed above the stage. Please stay tuned for my next upcoming video as I share with you the discoveries of Civil War history at Western Kentucky University. Thanks for watching, and until next time, let's see what's out there.